What's poppin', everyone? Adima here. Now, you may or may not have heard of the company called Elephone. They're a sort of new company. They actually produce some of these innovative designs that we see from Huawei, Oppo, Vivo, and the rest of them. Not that they lead the forefront, but they're also among these guys that introduced the weird, the bad, and the ugly. It was from them that I met the first phone with a pop-up camera. That should have been the Elephone U2, I believe. Not even sure. But then in this video, I'll be covering the Elephone PX. It's a new phone that they just released, or rather, it hasn't been released yet. It will soon be released, but it has some pretty interesting specs. So let's get into it. Now, the Elephone PX has a plain looking design. It's not one of these flashy designs that we see around, no gradient finishes. It's a sort of matte back where it doesn't really get fingerprints that much, but you will still see fingerprints. Like, they might be obvious, but then it will be hard for someone to notice. It comes in about 3 colors, I believe: black, green, and one other color that I'm not very sure of. Now, at the back, one thing that will actually stand out is the way the elephone symbol was placed. It's placed inside a sort of elevated, I don't even know whether it's elevated. From the pictures I've seen, it's elevated, but then it looks almost like as though it's pointing to the fingerprint reader, where it's like, hey, the fingerprint reader is over there. I don't really get it, but it's different, so I'm fine with that. It's not really pleasing to my eye, if you ask me, but hey, it's better than not having some new design. It's better you test out a new design before you actually start mass producing it. But there are some people who will actually like this design. I'm not really a fan. Now, the phone also has dual cameras, a flash. It also has a fingerprint reader, which also doubles as a heart rate sensor. Now, that's actually a new thing because you don't actually see that much in budget phones. I believe the only phone that I know, or rather the phone manufacturer that I know that does that, is normally Samsung. I've never seen another company doing it. So it's a welcome change. But overall, the design, it's pretty neat, I will say. Now, the screen is another thing altogether. It's a 6.34 inch IPS LCD screen with a resolution of 720 by 1440. So it's not the highest resolution in the world, but it's decent, I guess, for the price ish. It comes with Android 9 out of the box, and it's decent. The screen has no it has no bezels. Well, actually it has bezels, but they are so minimalistic. It has more of chin and no top bezel. The side bezels are very, very thin, like almost unnoticeable. But then, where did the front camera go? It's in a pop-up selfie camera mechanism which holds 2 cameras. Now, this design is good. We'll have to test it to see how well it holds in outdoor conditions when you're using it against bright sunlight, how color accurate it is. But then one thing I know is that battery life may take a hit because it's not an OLED panel, and OLED panels are the best if you're trying to conserve battery. But we'll have to wait and see. And well, let me just head straight to the specs and lay them out for you. It comes with the MediaTek Helio P22 processor with 3 or 4 gigs of RAM. You get either 32 or 64 gigs of internal storage depending on which variant you choose. 32 is for the 3 gig RAM, 64 is for the 4 gig RAM, and it's also expandable up to 400 gigabytes according to Elephone. And it has a 3500 mAh battery. it's pretty sizable, but then when it's powering a screen that is this large, well, you could say it could take a hit. But then the Helio P22 is a power efficient chip. It's a 12 nanometer process chip, so I wouldn't really stress much about it. And the cameras, it has a 60 megapixel plus 2 megapixel depth sensor at the back and also at the front. So basically shots should be detailed at most. It now depends on the camera software to know how well these shots will come out, but I've never used an Elephone device, so I can't really say. But then hopefully this will be good. And Elephone claims that this phone is compatible with every 4G band in the world. So basically it means no worrying about Glow 4G band, which actually got changed. I wonder why nobody has actually noticed this. I've not seen it in any videos. But then since Glow band has changed, it also means that you don't really need to break your head over phones that will support Glow 4G. I think Glow's new 4G band is band 7. Not very sure. But then there's that. The phone also has Face ID for those who actually use it. I don't see myself actually using that because of the continuous popping in and out of the camera, which is rated for 300,000 opens and closes, I believe. But still, I'm not even the type that uses a selfie camera much, so I don't actually see myself using the selfie camera much. But then overall, it's a pretty decent device. What do you think about this device? Are you interested in it? Should I cover it some more? Should I try to get my hands on it and see if I can do a review? Let me know in the comment sections below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
I just like the sound.